But that leads us to that fourth spot, right? If we all believe that, Alabama was there because of the Florida loss to Georgia, okay, Tennessee beats Alabama at home, though Florida does beat the brakes off of Texas A&M tonight. And again, I know it was at home, but that's a ranked Texas A&M team who's was 20-5 once upon a time. So are we just sliding Tennessee up over Alabama into that 4? Does Florida have something to say about it? Where are we, Rob Doster?
I think that probably you got to put Tennessee slightly above Alabama at this point. I think Alabama has better wins overall. They got more losses. I think that Florida has the best win out of the group because they won at Auburn. But I also think that Tennessee and Alabama did significantly more in the non-conference. And you got to give Alabama credit. Like I think that they've played as tough of a schedule as anybody this side of Auburn in college basketball. So to me, it's either Alabama or Tennessee. And if Alabama wants to be that number 1 seed, they get Florida at home and then they're at Auburn. Like it's up to them. They're going to be the ones that determine whether or not they get that 1 seed. Because if you win those 2 games, then there's not even a conversation. Alabama is going to be the 4th number 1 seed heading into the SEC tournament. If you lose both those games, then it's also not even going to be a conversation. Tennessee is going to be the other number 1 seed heading into the SEC tournament. So I think Alabama has it all to play for. It's going to all be in their hands in these last 2 games.
Now we do have a Gator alum over here from Major League Baseball, Florida Gator. So is that reflective of your opinion on their seed line, or is that separate?
It's reflective of my love for watching this Gators team. I'll tell you that much. They are fun to watch.
They're a machine. They are a machine.
I mean, man, their guards, I've said it all year. I'm not sure there's a guard trio, and now you can put Quartet in there with Denzel Aberdeen that I take over these guys, right? They're tough. Today it was Will Richards' day, but, it could be Walter Clayton. It could be Elijah Martin. Their front court is absolutely terrific. They not only held their own on the glass with maybe the toughest team in the country, Texas A&M, but they ended up on the positive end there. They held Wade Taylor and Zurich Phelps to a poor shooting night. Those guys had 3 assists, by the way. 3 assists on the night. In Florida, the ball was moving. Right. Yeah. They dominated. And this Florida team absolutely can win this whole thing. Like I would, if you're telling me right now, could I have Florida or Houston to win the whole thing? Now, I know I said I think Houston is deserving of the number 1 seed over Florida, but I would probably take the Florida Gators. And Rob, with what you just said about, which of these SEC teams is going to get the number 1 seed, Tennessee, Alabama, or Florida, I will say this. A week from Wednesday, I've covered a lot of conference tournaments over the years. I have never been so excited to go to Nashville a week from Wednesday for the SEC tournament because there is so much on the line from top to bottom, from the number 1 seeds all the way down to all these teams that are bubble teams, right? Arkansas, Texas is going to be playing for its life. Arkansas probably will be as well. Georgia looks good right now. Vandy looks pretty good. But, again, everybody's going to be playing for something in this thing. And pride. I mean, that's even Auburn. Do you want to win the whole thing and sweep both? Or do you want to go home early and get an extra day of rest? We'll see. But
you want to win it all. You want to win it all.
Yeah,
if you're Auburn, and you can say you won the SEC regular season, you won the SEC tournament, you won the national title. You're in the conversation for one of the greatest teams of all time. And I think that they are, at least in the modern era of college basketball, since one and done has been a thing, early entry has been a thing. I think Auburn is tracking towards being in that conversation for the best college basketball team that we've seen.
Jeff, real quick before we get to break, last number 1 seed for you. Who is it today?
Yeah, I mean, it's Auburn, Duke, to me, Houston, and I would go with Tennessee today.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's totally fair as of today, but still some season left to play out, right? So a lot could absolutely change. All right, Jeff Goodman says John Calipari should be reprimanded for what he did today. He'll explain why when we get back. Field of 68 after dark.